This video is brought to you by Spelunker Coffee out of Maquoketa, Iowa. SpelunkerCoffeeCo.com. They make some of my favorite coffee, particularly their dark roast, Cave Dweller. So I'm going to show you what to do on their website. I will post a link to this in the video description. Go onto their store, select the coffee you want. In my case, I'm going to pick Cave Dweller. Once you've added that to your cart, go in there and you will be prompted to add a promo code down here right below where your purchase is being shown. Enter my code BGS10 to save 10% off your entire purchase order. Check them out today. I will post links to wherever you can find information about them. Now back to the video. What's up, party people? It's Dan, your basement guitar superstar. I'm here with Ryan Snyder from Too Hot for Leather. They are based out in Nashville. He's originally from Cincinnati, which is awesome because I'm a giant Reds and Bengals fan. Ryan, thank you for joining me, dude. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about how you got started playing guitar. I know sounds like you were around 9, right? And you did a little bit of piano. Did guitar kind of come with that simultaneously, or how'd that work?
Not really. I started actually playing piano because my sister did. And, you know, for when you're kids, like, I want to do everything that, you know, my whole family's doing everything. So she was on piano, that I started off. And then I liked it. It was cool. I think I did lessons for like 2 years, maybe. My teacher actually, she said I was really hard because I couldn't read music, but I would watch her play it. And then I would just like mock on where she goes, you know. Okay. So like I never really learned like how to read like music and everything. So I just watched her do it, and she got so mad at me for it. I don't know. I'm like, oh, this is cool. The first book I learned was actually Phantom of the Opera, and it was like an easy book, and that's kind of what I learned for a few years. And then what got me hooked on guitar was in grade school, sixth grade. Like, you got your cool kids, you got, you know, everybody, all the cool kids are playing guitars and everything. Well, I want to be a cool kid. I want to play guitar. So they're all playing that, and then I tried it out. But like, to me, when I first started playing, it hit me a little differently. It's just like, wow, this feels good, and this is really cool. So I started playing at around 9 or 10. Had some lessons, and then I realized if my teachers are just listening to the songs and they're pulling up chords and tabs, why can't I do that? You know, so I was in lessons for a few years, and then I just learned on my own. And then I joined the Cincy Blues Society, and there was a program called Blues in the Schools, and that's for kids under 18 wanting to learn how to play the blues. And so I got involved in that for actually 5 years. And then and I actually, during that time, I actually stopped playing guitar because one gig I got booed off stage.
Really? Why?
I did. I was a kid. I was 14. It was some gig, and like there was a bunch of kids saying boo, but to me that got to my head like hardcore, man. Like I didn't play for a whole year, dude. Played for a whole year. So I was in that, and about from 14 to 15, I didn't play at all. And then just magically I tried it again, and honestly, here I am now. But at that time, I started playing again around 15, 16. And then I started my own band called Absolute Value. I was very young. And then I started another group called Rio and the Ramblers. And then I was in another group called The Borderline Something. And then I quit that. Then I was a hired gun for a long time, and I worked on my own stuff. And then I started a group called Too Hot for Leather here in Nashville. And here I am, man.
And I checked out that last one you said when you were in Cincinnati, The Borderline Something.
Yeah.
I really dug that stuff. Are they still going? Do you know, or did that?
Eric is still, yeah, he is actually going. He is. He's asked me to do a few shows with him. I will do shows with that band if it's original music. I won't do the whole cover stuff because that group, we did a lot of cover shows. But I told him that if we have an original show like in our hometown, I will for sure do it. But it's not hardcore for him, if that makes sense.
Right,
you know?
right.
Oh, but I know he was in Lexington last weekend for a borderline. So, but it was at Stagger Inn, I think, and we used to play Stagger Inn all the time. Like we played, I think at one point we were there like 50 times in 1 year.
Wow.
So yeah, we did a lot of shows there. So they really liked us there. But I told them like I'm kind of up doing my own thing. But if we have an original show, yeah, I'm in. But you know.
Yeah. So going back to when you were playing, what was that kind of aha moment for you? Like, was there something specific that like a show you played or like something you learned in a lesson where you're like, oh my God, I have to be a guitarist when I grow up? Like, this
oh wow,
is what my calling is.
So we all know who AC/DC is, right? Come on.
Yeah.
So do you know the Live in Huntington from '99?
Dude, do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like pizza? Of course I know.
So you know exactly for what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The beginning of a Thunderstruck. For a Thunderstruck, you know, Angus Young, he walks up and he just like points his hands in the sky like this. There's a crowd of like 500,000 like people there. That was the moment. I was like 11 for when I saw him. Like this is freaking cool. He starts playing Thunderstruck, which is actually the first song I learned on the guitar. And my world just went. I was like 11, and it just exploded. Dude, I'm like, this is freaking cool.
Wow,
this is awesome. And it's making me so excited because like that was a special moment. I'm like, this is great.
Nice. So do you know most of AC/DC's catalog then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So if I show up in Nashville and was like, hey, you want to play an AC/DC gig,
I would definitely be down, dude. I would absolutely, dude. I know a lot of deep cuts. Yeah.
Do you know like Hail Caesar and stuff like that too?
I know. I can do like, I mean, I know it, and if I listen to it for once or twice, I got it. Like I can do Problem Child, Riff Raff, the Jack, Big Balls.
Nice.
You know, a lot of the stuff, man. Like they were like my hardcore, like for rock is what I want to do.
Sure. So going back to your guitar playing a little bit, is there like a specific technique or piece of theory or something one of your teachers taught you that really sparked your growth on guitar? Because I feel like a lot of people start playing, then they never get that, and so they give up really easily because they're like, well, I'm stuck in this rut. What was kind of that thing for you that really helped spark your growth, do you think?
Like a lick or
like a technique or like learning scales or triads or something like that?
It's kind of funny. I didn't really start to learn theory till I was about 22. Like I knew knew my basic stuff. Like I knew where my chords were at, where like what the whole pentatonic scales are, but I never like connected everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think as a kid. I mean, really, when I was a kid, just the whole pentatonic scale. That's what really. I mean, that's what got me. To be real with you, like it's so easy and simple. That's like, okay, this is what I want to keep doing. So for learning up and down the whole neck, I didn't know where the like I knew like the E string, like E, F, G, A, B, but like I didn't know like where other notes were at on the neck. It's just like I learned the I would look online like what they would look like, and then I would just mock that on here and just put it here, but not know what, like, this is C, this is D, E. I like, so it was that was like my thing. Like, this is cool because like it was just noise, to me. Like, then you can create whatever you want. That's what kind of, because it wasn't really theory. Like I said, I didn't start that till I was about 22. So yeah,
So
at least.
So it's not too late for me, in other words.
No, it's not, dude. No, bro. No, it's not. Trust me.
Because I started, I kind of played guitar on it. I started out on drums, right?
Yep.
I played in a band that toured around the Midwest for a little bit called Breaking Even. I didn't actually start playing guitar until college, and very on and off, because I was the drummer in this band. And then just when the pandemic hit, is when I really started getting into guitar hardcore and like music theory. I just kind of now feel like I'm getting a grasp on it.
It's to me, it was like learning Spanish or another language, man. It really was. And I recommend it to everybody. Like, you got to know at least a little bit of theory, at least a small bit. You don't have to be like classically trained. Just know your scales, your modes, and your whole chords, and then you're set, dude. Like, being real. Like, you don't need to go the whole 9 yards.
So what brought you to Nashville as opposed to like LA? I know that's kind of the hotbed on the on the eastern side, but it seems like it's either kind of that, Atlanta, or LA. Like, why'd you choose Nashville? Just out of curiosity.
I know a few people in the like higher up in the music industry, and they've all said Nashville, like, move to Nashville. It's literally a bump in town for right now, and that's where everyone's at. So move to Nashville. I didn't want to go to LA because it's a little far away from home for me. So I was like, no, I don't want to go there. But Atlanta, I didn't really know they had like a hardcore music scene like Nashville did.
And not Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth. That's where I was thinking.
Okay, yeah, or for Austin too. Just Nashville is just. I just heard a lot of great things about it, and I moved here with the borderline something here. We all moved here. We were all broke. We all moved here, and we found a small apartment. And we were there for a couple of years, and then 2019, the whole group split. But yeah, we moved here 2016 together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So it wasn't that long ago.
No, I've been here for only 7 years.
So what's the biggest adjustment you had to make that you did, like something? When you got to Nashville, was there anything in particular that you didn't expect that you ran into? Like, okay, I'm having a particularly difficult time getting my foot in the door here or making connections here. What was that for you?
It was a hard time for me because I'm not a social person. I've learned that I need to be social. Because I would, like, 4 years ago, I would probably not have this because I don't like talking. I don't like doing all this. But now it's like, it's fun, and I like it now. But when I first moved here, I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just go to a show and hang out in the very back and see if someone walks up to me. No, it's not how it works. No, you got to go around and you got to go shake hands. So that was the hardest part for me, was to get out of my comfort zone and go up and talk to people. That was my hardest thing, I think. But I got used to that in like 6 to 8 months here. So, but it was a lot of work, like, because I have anxiety and everything. Like, it's like, I don't want to go out. I'm feeling anxious. I'm like, nope, got to go do it. Or go out and shake hands. That's all you got to do in this town, is just go out and meet people and shake hands.
Do you feel like it's oversaturated with musicians?
You're a needle in a needle in a haystack here. You're like, there are so many musicians here. It's unbelievable. Okay. It's crazy. But there's a lot of talent here, though. A lot of talent.
Right.
Like I know a lot of like when I was first here, I had like when I first moved here, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm great. No, ego check very quickly, dude. I'm like, there was a lot of good players for down here, and that made me want to like, okay, I need to actually go practice a lot more, So
Well, I'd say you fit in quite well, dude. I hope you don't mind this comparison, but to me, you you come off as kind of like a Jared James Nichols with more of an edge and better songwriting chops.
and shorter.
Yes. Okay. I wasn't gonna say that, but you said
Yeah. Hey, man, dude, I stood next to him, man, and he is a giant.
he is. I met him at
He's,
NAM and I was like, Jesus, dude, I'm 6 foot and you're like 6 inches taller than me.
he's in Cincy November 8th, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. He's in. They just released. I think he's on the road with Brother Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my favorite bands of all time, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm in Iowa, so I'm gonna try and catch them in St. Charles, Illinois. I think they play there November 18th or something.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, where in Cincy are they playing?
It doesn't say on for their sheet, but I think the sales are released on Friday.
Okay, is
So-
Bogart still going in Cincinnati?
I have no idea. I don't play there, so I'm
Never
not.
played there. I was going to say because that's the furthest east my old band ever played was Bogarts in Cincinnati.
Oh, cool! It is a cool venue, man. It's really cool. It is. We did a front room show there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we weren't on that main stage because Borderline. I think we only sold like 120 tickets. So and
Yeah, we
that's
did the front room too, and we were the opener. Do you know who the Story Changes is?
who
The Story Changes. They're from
the story.
Dayton, Ohio.
No,
They're my favorite band. They're actually Mark and Poppy. Their guitarist and drummer are currently in Hawthorne Heights.
Okay,
So they're
cool.
we played with them there, and it was really fun. But
Nice, very cool.
yeah, so talk to me, Ryan. How'd you get into vintage guitars? Because, like I said, I saw that unboxing of you, like unboxing that
That's
gold top, and I was like, I have to follow this dude because if he has as much joy as I do unboxing a guitar, he's got to be a good person.
So it's actually fun. You might know these guys. Do you know Motel Faces?
Yes, I follow them on Instagram.
So John Harper, we're close friends. So he was endorsed with those guys for a while, and we share our similar, like with Slash, and this is when and he has the AFD 100, and I told him like, oh dude, this is a really sick guitar. This is cool. I was like, where did you buy that? And he goes, you have to be endorsed for them to buy it. And I was like, okay, what is that? Because at that time I had no clue. So it was actually crazy. So I emailed the head department of theirs, like, hey, I'm Ryan. I'm looking for an endorsement deal. I've got these shows, yada yada yada. Literally a half hour later, dude, they said I was in with their family. Like I got endorsed in like a half hour. Well, at that time, my social media was kind of hopping, and I think they saw that. So like, okay, this is cool. This is great. So I've been with those guys since 2018. But John Harper got me hooked up for that because he sent me their email, and that's how I got in too. So
now, was it Rick from RBI Music, or did you contact the UK?
It was Rick, actually. It was Rick.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Rick. I met him at Summer NAMM in Nashville there, and he and I hit it off instantly. So
did you go to why am I drawing a blank? British Audio too?
No.
Yeah, I think that when they did Summer NAMM there, they did like a little after party at British Audio. So
I didn't get invited to any after parties. I only had 75.
Sorry.
I was small potato. I still am small potatoes. I only have 429 subs, but I only had 55 at the time. So
you gotta start somewhere, dude. You got more subs than I do on YouTube. So
Yeah, but you're an insanely better guitarist than I am. This needs to be your next gold top, dude.
oh wow, which one's that?
It's the V100 MGT, the mini humbucker gold top.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So they just came out with that and like a gun hill blue and a wine red last
Oh
year at NAMM.
wow.
And the mini humbuckers on that sound so good.
Yeah, I miss NAM because I had road shows, so I couldn't go to it.
Yeah,
It
how
was
many shows a year are you playing? Because it one of your posts made it sound like you've played all over the U.S. now.
not all over the U.S. I have played in a lot of states though, but I mean, I play in Nashville a lot. Like that's like my main gig here. I play on Broadway a lot, but this year, since last year, I played in Colorado, Florida, Alabama, Memphis,
You've been to
Arkansas.
Iowa yet?
We're trying to go to Iowa City.
Gabe's
What's that?
Gabe's Oasis.
I'm not sure what it's like. It's a yacht club.
Oh, I love the yacht club, dude.
Yeah, there's a yacht club that I hear really good things about, but it's just not working out for right now because I'm not really trying to travel too much right now. Because like I said, my other band, we want to get this record done, and we want to hop off the whole Broadway scene, and we want to like go off and play original stuff. Like I want to hop on the whole festival circuit, or I want to open up for some bigger band, you know. It just takes a lot of time, to make a record. So it's just it's a lot. It's fun, but it's a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm totally content doing the YouTube thing right now and not playing shows or any of that. So who's the most interesting person you've played a gig with so far? Like, have you met any like big time Nashville people that you've jammed with or any of that?
Big time. You mean like jam with or hang with?
Hang with, play a
Hey,
show with, jam with.
so it's actually funny. So Tyler Bryant and the Shake and the Shakedown.
Yes, also one of my favorite bands.
So Tyler was selling a pedal online, and I really liked it. So I messaged him, and he's like, "All right, swing on over here, and you can try it out." So I was like, "Cool." So I went. We hung out at his house for like a few hours, and they showed me. I got to pull up their record. So he let me listen to their whole record before it was released. And the record, it was this one here.
Oh, okay, nice.
So he had it on Dropbox. So we sat in his studio and he let me listen to it. And we hung out. Like, we didn't talk music really. We just hung out. It's like, and I know who he is and I think he's great. But I wasn't sitting there telling him like, "Oh, you're so good, dude." We just sat there and we hung out and just talked about just everything. And that was, to me, that was a cool moment. That was like, this is really cool. Like, there's somebody that I look up to, and we're sitting here having a conversation just about life. So
Right.
to me, that was a really cool moment.
That is awesome.
And that was the same thing. I met Jared. He was having a show. He did a showcase for Epiphone, and I think it was invited like 20 guys, and somehow I got invited because I messaged them a time. So I'm there just sitting there and hang out, and I'm shy, but he just comes, sits right next to me, just says, "How you doing, dude?" And I'm like, "Doing good, man." And we just sat there and we just talked about life. So for those moments for me are really cool. So
That's awesome. What's your
yeah.
favorite Nashville venue then? I know most of the footage I've seen, not of you, just in general, from Nashville is from the basement east.
That's a cool room. My favorite place, I'm pretty sure it's not a venue anymore. It was called the High Watt.
Okay.
It's like the Mercury Lounge, Mercy Lounge. It was here it was my first gig with a Borderline here in 2016, and their room was it was just such a cool room, such a cool vibe. That was a cool room, but also I like the I like Five Spot. The Five Spot, because it's small, it's intimate, but you can still be a loud rock and roll band there. But it's small, and everyone who shows up there, like, I want to hear music. I don't care what it is, I want to hear music. So I like the Five Spot because it's just a happy vibe there.
One of those places that they could fill it 5 nights a week, realistically.
If you're known, yeah.
Or is Nashville kind of suffering from the same thing that we are here, where, it used to be you could fill venues 7 days a week, and now everybody's so busy it's kind of hit and miss.
Well, you can fill venues here, but you just got to have a following. It's just the whole thing that's hard about Nashville is filling venues is all of your friends are working on Friday or Saturday when you have your own show.
Right.
So it's like, that's what's tough. But if you're somebody like Jared, he can draw here in town. Or if you're somebody like Tyler Bryant, or who else is like for those guys, they freaking draw here. But it just depends who you are, But I've seen, there's music every night in Nashville, and some places do sell out on a Monday, but it just depends who the artist is. Now, they do have a lot of local shows, but when you have a local show versus your favorite band, you're going to go to your favorite band than to like a local show. But the local shows here are great. Like, you got Whiskey Jam, you got the 209 Nashville, you got Bus Call. Like, there's a lot here that you can do, and those are pretty packed too. But it just depends who's in town or not, because there's so much competition in this town, so much.
Right. Let me ask you about your equipment quick, because apparently my version of Zoom updated since the last time I did one of these, and I only have like 9 minutes left.
Oh no!
On my thing. What does your live rig look like? I know you use that AFD quite a bit, it sounds like.
So if you can see this here, I know it's a little messy, but my live rig is the Marshall Jubilee, and I run in my FX loop. I run a Lexicon, which is reverb and delay, and I also, through my FX loop, I have the digital delay here too, along with a Rocktron, and this is like a Leslie vibe.
Okay.
Like Peter Frampton uses this. I use that.
Is that talk box I see on some of your videos?
No, this is my talk box here. I got to do my phone. I use the MXR.
Oh, okay.
And I use this guy, or I use the Banshee one.
Okay, I didn't know that MXR made a talk box.
It's my favorite. I've tried like 20 of them. This is my favorite, and I want to actually speak with Vintage about having my own, because I know they work with another company that makes them pedals, and I want to make my own. Just have my name on it. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, or I could probably hook you up with Danny Kreider from Noise Pollution Pedals. He's been
great
supporter of the channel. He's an individual builder, doesn't sell them in bulk, but he could probably make you one if you ask him.
After this, we'll definitely speak about that for sure. Yeah. And what's funny too is when I sometimes, not all the time, but I use Tyler Bryant's pedal here too.
Oh, the TB Drive, nice.
I use it. I mean, it just sounds so freaking good, dude. Like, it's just
I don't think Rodenberg's made a pedal yet that doesn't sound amazing.
No, I mean, bro, it's just I can't like if I'm through this rig, I won't use it because this already has
Right.
the gain for distortion. But if I run my Mesa, I use this guy, and dude, and she roars, man. It sounds good. And then I got just the basic wall pedal here. I think I've had for this wall for maybe like 10 years.
Nice.
it it works great. It squeaks, but it works awesome. And then tuner wise, I run through this guy here, dude. I got a very easy rig. It's not that hard. I don't like pedals a whole lot. I really don't. I just go from here, to the board, to my amp, and that's it. I don't have a million for things in front of me because for my mind can't be like doing this whole tapping stuff all the whole time.
Yeah,
So,
and for you, Ryan, honestly, I'm gonna like compliment you, and I hope you're not like, I hope you like compliments, but like, dude, when that AFD is in your hands, it sounds like angels singing, man. Seriously.
I appreciate that, man. No, I really do.
Dude, so for those of you watching, if you have not checked out Ryan's new EP, it's called Lights On. 4 songs that are absolute bangers. Every single one of them. I love them. They've been on my Spotify playlist since the record came out. Now, do you still have hard copies of that or not? Because
Yes, I do. They're somewhere around the room. So, but if you want to order one, you just let me know. You can just follow me at Ryan Snyder Music on everywhere.
Okay.
Every platform.
To all that stuff. We got about 4 minutes left. I want to know, Ryan, how do I get one of those bobbleheads that I saw on Instagram post?
So my dad made this one.
Oh,
my dad made this. So let me see what I can do with you, man, because this is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
This is get a little close.
Nice.
It's got the tattoos on the whole side of it, everything.
Yeah.
The watches I wear, dude. It's so even the whole wallet chain, man. It's got the wallet chain on the side. It's really cool. I can see what I can do, man, because I mean, those would be a solid hit.
So what's next for you? I know you're wanting to tour with Too Hot for Leather. Are you, I mean, what's kind of your dream gig? Like, if this person called me tomorrow, I would drop everything and tour with them if the money was right.
It has to be the right person for me to like drop everything that I have, because my dream is like I want to tour not only with Too Hot, but I want to be my own solo artist. Like, it doesn't have to be like sell out 20,000 folks to an arena. Like, I'm more of like, let's sell out 500 tickets to 1,000, for tickets a show, and just have like a very intimate rock show and just have for my own vibe. Because the whole style of music that I do, it doesn't sound like, Swift or, the whole pop stuff. And that's cool. I'm totally happy with that. But my dream gig is to be on for tour for 4 months, promoting a new record, and just just playing my own stuff. Like, for no owner's gonna tell me what to freaking do, what I gotta play, what I gotta do. This no, like I sold 1,000 seats here. This is what I want to do. This is they're here to listen to what I want to do. So that's kind of a dream. But the artists, I mean, I don't know who. It just, like I said, it just all depends what the phone call is. What that is. I don't know, man. That's a really hard question. Who would I drop everything for? But it just really depends.
Sure.
Depends.
All right. So Ryan, thank you again for joining me.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
What's next for you in closing?
What's next for me? I am working on a full-length record for myself, and I'm like in the first stages of it now. I'm in like I have a writing phase. I have a pre-production, recording, and then post-production. So I bet by next summer I'll have a full length out.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's. You think my last EP was cool? This is gonna slap a lot harder.
Nice. Nice. Well, for those of you that haven't heard Ryan, his music reminds me of a lot of the really good like 70s harder blues rock from like kind of the British Invasion. I'd
Nice.
say there's a lot of heavier Led Zeppelin influence. It might, and Ryan, if I'm off on this, correct me. I hear
You're doing great.
I hear a lot of Slash influence in your playing. I hear a lot of like Led Zeppelin and old school like 70s, 80s hard rock.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your wheelhouse and what you're
Yeah,
doing.
man.
So
Yes, it is.
cool. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been another episode of Creator Spotlight with Ryan Snyder from Nashville. And have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, man.